Now we come to the last back G. In back G we will finalize the car and we will assemble the bumper, the body post, the battery stopper, and we will assemble the aluminium bushing who go to the shock tower. Begin with the bumper. Now take the front body post, attach the body post to the bumper. Before assembling the foam bumper, take out the small piece of foam, put it over like this. And now attach the upper part of the bumper and mount it with a long M3x15 screw. Assemble the rear body post and attach it like this. Before putting the shocks on, I'm gonna tweak the car with a tweak station and gonna tighten the top deck when I push the car down to make sure the chassis is straight. Before the installation of the shocks, I will measure the droop on both sides and make sure that they're even. When the droop is set correctly left and right, now you're able to tune the roll bar. Push one side up and check when the other side lifts up. Do this the same with the other side and it should lift up equally. If the roll bar doesn't lift up equally, you can adjust the roll bar linkage. Do that the same for the front. First make the droop equal and check the roll bar if it lifts up equally left and right. Now install the aluminium shock mount bushing, and the initial setup is 0, but you can also get option part 0.4, 0.8 and 1.2 mm, and it will change the shock position on the shock tower. Attach the bushing with an 8 mm screw. When that's done, attach the shocks onto the shock tower and onto the lower arm. Do that the same for the front, but for the front initially there's a 2 mm shim right here and a 1 mm shim on the bottom. And this is the assembly of the battery holder. Mount the graphite battery holder like this. And tighten the bottom. As you can see, you can move the graphite battery holder more in and more out. It depends on the position of the battery. And mount the battery stopper right here. You can add more shims depending on how thick your battery is. This is how you close the battery stopper. And make sure the battery can move about 1 mm up and down. And also 1 mm side play. And install the body clip for the desired height of the body shell. It's time to put on the tires. Now I will install the electronic. Take a little bit of double-sided tape and install it in the car. Do the same with the electronic speed controller. I have prepared the electronic speed controller so that the plus and minus from the battery is in this direction. And I will put it under the top deck so you can easily install it like this. Install the motor to the motor mount and make sure that the spur gear and pinion have a little bit of play. Put the battery inside. The last thing before hitting the track, I'm gonna check the camber and the ride height. Make sure when you check the ride height that you adjust the left and the right shock equally. The ride height depends on the track surface that you race on. I will recommend on a smooth track to use around 5 mm ride height and on a bumpy track around 6 mm ride height. The ride height can be changed adjusting the shock adjustment. After the ride height is set, I will check the camber. Take out the wheel and place the camber gauge. Do that for both sides. You must leave the rear tires on the car. The initial setup for the camber is 2 degrees and you can adjust it with a turnbuckle tool. After the camber, I will adjust the toe out of the front wheels. Initial setup is about 1 degree toe out. The initial setup for the camber of the rear is 2 degrees. After checking the camber, I will recheck the toe in. With the eccentric I use for the toe in, it should be 2.5. This is the end of the building video of the Infinity IF14-2 car. I hope you liked it.